Good morning. The sun's about to come up and come out. We're gonna have a heck of a day. Let's see how many beans we can combine. First, we gotta haul some. We're gonna get the truck started up here, let it warm up. Go get my Dr. Pepper and Pop-Tarts, and we'll hit the road. Today's video is probably going to get mighty long, so I hope you enjoy that. There should be a lot of good content in here. I'm going to do my best to get the drone out, get the GoPros out, and try and get some more footage. That may or may not make today's video, depending on if I'm working till midnight or not and have time to edit it. But we'll get it in one of these. Also, if you would, thumbs up the video right now, subscribe to the channel, and let's just get that taken care of right now. Just dumped the first load. 16.1 on those. It's not great. It's not terrible. Loading for round 2. Also, that guy that's got wheat in my warehouse there, them couple more boxes is on his way. We're going to get him loaded up too before we head back to the elevator. Waiting for him to come get them boxes. I'll walk up to my house real quick. Heavy dew. It's not good for early bean starts. All right. I think we've got, I don't know if we have a full another load. There's still some on that truck, and there's a few in the overhead, but probably not enough. But Phil might haul it in, like, whatever. I'm done hauling it, so I'm gonna look at the tickets here and update some of the records on the computer, and then we got a heavy due. We gotta wait. I'm trying to be patient. All right, it is 11 o'clock. I have assembled a fleet of GoPro cameras and a drone. Should we take both drones so we can both fly at the same time, Brock?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We're gonna go eat an early lunch. I can still see dew on the grass, so the beans are gonna be tough. But the sun is shining, it is a beautiful day, and I am getting antsy, and it's time to go. So I'm gonna delay myself by taking time for an early lunch, and then we're gonna go combine beans, and we're just gonna go as fast as we can. All right. It's noon. It's time to go. We're done waiting. We got sunshine. It'll be fine. So I had to test some corn for a neighbor. The corn's wet. Oh, my corn is so freaking wet. She had 2 samples. One was a 103 day. One was like a 92 day, and it was 23 and 29%. Ouch. Brought a couple guards because I only have one good one left in the toolbox. Opening. Open. Engage. Let's go. Engage. Full bunny. Bad news. We're losing our sunshine. It's a thin cloud layer that's just making it kind of hazy, overcast. Hopefully that clears out, but it's not great. Also, these beans aren't great. There's a lot of white mold. It's hard to see it at night. It was dark up here when we were here before, but like there's a little patch right here that doesn't have it, and these do, and those do, and it's all of it that way. They're not good. It's just not going to be great. And it's pointless to do my yield contest entry up here because these beans are not going to be good. I should have done it on the very first field that we combined way back the 1st of October in Berkey. Those were our best beans, but that wasn't the entry that I had, so you can't just change it mid-season when you figure out what the good ones are. You got to plan it from the beginning on which variety you're going to use, and well, it's supposed to be this one. I picked wrong. Okay, well, we're in the groove of things. The beans are not dry. I really hope they get drier throughout the day or we're going to be in trouble. But it is what it is. So Dad just pulled in. I had told him that we might need him to run the combine today. It just kind of depends on what Phil wants to do, if he's going to haul beans to town or we're going to try and fill the overhead and put them in the bin. If they get dry enough to put in the bin, we'll be in much better shape, but at 17 that's not going to happen. Now, I don't totally trust the moisture reading on this combine anymore. I'll see what Phil says this load tests once he gets a full one. But yeah, if Dad wants to jump in here, I might let him drive a minute so we can put a drone in the air. Well, Dad and I got to talking. The drone flight didn't happen. We'll get it in the air, I promise. I will get a drone in the air at some point here and try and get some GoPro footage as well. My sales rep from my seat company, and I'm not going to say their name, right? I'm really just going to hold on to this until they actually pay me to say their name and sponsor my channel. Show them what they've been missing out on. Anyway, he's on his way to do my Go for the Gold yield contest thing, which is stupid because there's no good beans on this farm. It's pointless. But I told him I would do it. So we're gonna finish this pass and that one back there, and then the next one is gonna be all the way through past the trees, and then we've got some end rows, and we're probably gonna dig around the river over there and just open up some end rows and see what we've got in the rest of this field. We are opening up the end rows along the river in the back here. This stuff. I want to know what the beans over here are. Right through our good stuff where we put all of our foo-foo juices to make the beans 100 bushel beans. We'll see. We'll see if it doubled the yield there. I somehow doubt it, but we're gonna go take a cut through, and well, they look better from this angle. It could just be the angle, but it doesn't look like we've got as much white mold in the back over here. Okay, update. We've gotten real creative. So there's less white mold in the back here in this triangle that we're doing, and so I isolated it. Tony's taking a measurement. We're using this to tell me when we get to 1.25 acres, and we're trying to just take these where we don't have the white mold that we've got through the whole field there. The beans are, well, you can see the map, right? So we've got really good beans in the back here, in the middle, and then the white mold patches are red, and it's just the way it is. There's no way to get a good pass all the way through there. So I'm gonna do the best we can. We're not gonna win, but I mean, it might be respectable. It'll be over 70, at least. So we're at 0.94 acres. I'm gonna have to make one more pass. Okay, well, after messing around with that and losing some efficiency, whoops, we're probably not gonna get done here today, which we weren't gonna anyway, but we were trying. We got that out of the way. We did turn in an entry over 70 bushel, just barely, but we made 70, which is a far cry from the 86 I had last year that won the state. Oh well, they weren't my best beans. They were my best beans in this field. The white mold is just killing us. So we're gonna keep pushing along here and fill in this gap and that gap and see how far across here we can make it today. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. But let's just get the beans done so we can start shelling some super wet corn. Doesn't that sound like fun? Full grain cart loads. If I leave it on until we get to the end or close to the end, he'll have enough to fill that truck that I'm pretty sure is empty. So we'll just let it keep going there. Oh, the pockets, man. If these beans didn't have white mold in them, they'd be halfway decent. But you dive into these pockets and the beans there's no beans there. And then the power, watch what it does to the power bar right there. Just kills it. Taking all of the horsepower. We didn't get a low speed warning that time. The last one I got a low speed warning. Didn't. 47. Then they start climbing as you get back out of it. Super disappointing. So I know the white mold has been kind of a focal point of the videos the last week here or so as we've been in these fields that have gotten it the worst. And well, some of you have your opinions on what caused it or what I'm doing wrong or what I should do about it and all these different things. And well, that's fine. Here's what I know. One, it is soil-borne fungus and all these little black, well, you can't see it right now, all these little black rat turd things that are in the beans. Those are kind of the spores of the inoculum that's going to cause problems 2 years from now. Yes, it does live in the soil. It will stay there for quite a long time. Would a longer crop rotation help? Maybe. It wouldn't hurt anything, let's say that. So going to a 4 or 5 years away from beans, yes, that would be beneficial. We don't have a ton of ability to do that. Corn on corn in our area is hit and miss. Sometimes it works, but it's not something we like to do a lot of unless it's sort of necessary. Although I'm sitting in this field combining 60 bushel beans, which I should not be disappointed in, but I am, thinking I had 260 bushel corn here last year. Why am I planting beans on this field? Like, why? Why would I even deal with this white mold? Just forget it. Plant corn and corn and corn and go. Well, that might work for 2 or 3 years, but eventually that's going to catch up and cause its own problems on the corn side, right? I know everybody says you should plant buckwheat or sunflowers or some other crop, whatever it may be, and that's fine, but I can't sell them. I have no market for those kinds of things. The things that I have a market for here are corn, soybeans, and wheat. And we could put wheat into the rotation. I hate planting wheat up here because it usually comes after beans, and after beans, I can plant corn. I can plant really good corn. Why would I want to plant wheat? But it would break that disease cycle on the bean side of it. We really don't ever and can't plant wheat after corn. That's just not something that's feasible for us. Some guys do it after corn silage. I have almost never seen it done after shelled corn. So that's not a real viable option either. So if we want to get away from beans, it's pretty much a corn on corn rotation, which is not ideal. Okay, so what else? What causes it? Well, obviously there's 3 things that you need in order to have a disease problem or for it to become an issue. You have to have a host crop. Check. Soybeans, we have a host crop. Okay? If we're going to grow beans here, we're going to have a host crop. 2, you have to have the inoculum or the disease present. Well, there's white mold everywhere. The disease is present. We are putting that disease right back into the soil. It will be present here 2 years from now. It will be present here 5 years from now. Maybe to a lesser extent, but it will be present. Check. The third thing, and the one that is up in the air, or the most variable, I guess, is an environment. You have to have an environment conducive to that fungus's growth. And this year was a heavy white mold year, and it's not just us. The neighbor right there has white mold. The neighbor right over there has white mold. Everybody has it. And so it's not necessarily cultural practices that we're doing that is causing it. It is the environment of the year and the fact that the disease is present and we have a host crop. And so while we did have some white mold 2 years ago, we had almost none last year. Very, very little. And I don't remember white mold being a huge problem in prior years. And so whether we didn't have it last year is due to the environmental conditions or the fact that different fields were bean fields last year than the ones that are bean fields now, and these are some of the same bean fields that were had white mold in them 2 years ago are back to beans now, and we just had more of that disease present is what caused it. I don't know that, but there's little that I can do to impact the environmental conditions and whether or not it's going to be bad. It's just the weather patterns for the year. So what can we do about it? Well, there are some cultural practices, things like using wide rows. Wide rows allow for more air movement down the rows and allow the canopy, the lower canopy, to dry out and reduce the fungus pressure and the potential for white mold. Those are wide rows. We still have white mold. We can reduce populations, which is the same principle. It allows for more air movement, for it to dry out and have less instances of white mold. I did this in my plots in 30-inch rows and tried that, and I will say there was less white mold in the 100,000 plants per acre than there was in the 140,000 plants per acre. This particular field was planted at like 135,000. So it was on the higher end of that. Yeah, we could drop population some. That's something we could do. But then you run into fields like the one we did last week that just had a poor stand because nothing came up very good, and you think, well, I should have planted them thicker, not less. So it's kind of hit and miss there a little bit, right? Okay, so what else can we do? Well, tillage. I can find you people that will tell you that The best thing to do is get the moldboard plow out and bury this residue as deep as possible. I can also go and find you people that will say the best thing you can do to reduce your white mold instances is to no-till and leave all the residue on the surface so that the spores can't make it out of the soil to get up into the air and they're completely covered by stuff on the ground, cover crop or whatever. Those are two completely opposite, contrasting opinions. I have no idea which one is better or worse. I can tell you there is 0% chance I'm getting a moldboard plow out. Ain't happening. There's also a pretty low percentage chance that I'm going to straighten no-till. We could no-till beans, but I'm not going to no-till my corn. So, I don't know if either of those is effective. I do know that neither of them is a legitimate option for me. Beyond that, we get into some other biological or chemical controls. There is there's the product like Heads Up that we use on soybeans, seed treatment to try and prevent some white mold. Exhibit A. These beans had Heads Up and they are full of white mold. So, I don't know if that is doing what I have thought that it was doing. Let's put it that way. So that's not great. I do think it helped. I am not saying that it didn't work. I'm saying that it did not control it. Okay? There's a product that we can spray on now in the fall that will attack the spores that we're throwing out the back of the combine, leave it on the soil, and supposedly kill them so that I don't have white mold here 2 years from now. I got an email from somebody trying to sell me that product. They want $25 a pound for it, and you spray a pound of the acre. That's $25 an acre. That's pretty steep. I think I'm out on that one. For something that I have no idea if it actually works or not, and I won't know if it worked or not for at least 2 years until we have beans back in these fields, I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. Not doing it. There are some fungicides that we could potentially spray in season. I've talked about these in the past where timing is critical and there's an extended window when you can potentially get the white mold, so you might have to do multiple applications. They're also expensive and cost prohibitive when you don't know if that environment component is going to be there, that white mold will be a problem or not. This white mold did not show up until the end of August, almost Labor Day. Far too late for any control measures. It wasn't on my radar. It wasn't something I was going to start spraying for in July or end of June when I had no idea it was going to be a problem. And most years, like last year, we had no issues with it. So why would I go out and spend $30,000, $40,000 on fungicides for something that I'm not convinced is going to be a problem? And I won't know that for a while. So our options are really limited here. And the biggest thing that we're probably going to have to start paying more attention to is variety ratings, whether our individual variety of beans is more or less tolerant to white mold, and I'm going to build a list, a history list of what fields have had white mold in the past, where am I most likely to have it in the future, and what varieties work better on those fields where it is a bigger potential problem. And that's the best I can do right now. I know I get comments all the time about cleaning your combine out and not spreading it. What do you want me to do? Like, I run it empty, but you want me to bring an air gun into every field and clean every nook and cranny off of it? That's not going to happen. Not after every field when I'm going to another field that's full of white mold anyway. Like, it's not feasible. So, I don't think there is a magic bullet to this. This is a major problem for us this year. Does not mean it will be a major problem for us next year or 2 years from now or who knows when. It's just what we had this year. Brock jumped in and rode around with me for a second there. I gave him a drone, so he's setting it up, and we're gonna fly it. Hopefully. We're waiting for GPS. All right, we got some drone footage. What a deal. Pretty sweet, but you can see all of the white mold, all the black areas in that real far back aerial shot is where the white mold was. And it's mostly the low ground, the river bottom as we drop off this little hill right here, but you can see it kind of random pattern throughout. What's interesting to me is that it is not in that triangle in the back. This portion back here is not near as bad. And why is that? What caused it to be less significant there? The only real cultural difference for me, for my mind, is one, we had a different variety of corn there last year, which should make no difference whatsoever. But two, we don't get any water back there. When we're irrigating this field, I can't reach this triangle. And so, did that have something to do with it? This was corn last year. What difference does that make? We didn't water it this year at all. So it shouldn't have made any difference, but I don't know. Beans are better back there. There's no white mold in them. Why? I have temporarily lost my grain cart operator. Brock had to go let the dogs out, so we're trying to make rounds. We didn't quite make it. You can see where we got right there. We're close. It's good. It's good when you can't make rounds. These are pretty long rows, though. 61 average on that round. Yeah, you know, for as much as I've complained about the white mold up here and in most of our fields, they're still not bad beans. If you would have told me in June that this field would go over 60, I probably would have taken it at that time. Like, you know what the key to happiness is? I'm going to give you some life lessons right here. Ready? You ready for this? The key to happiness: lower your expectations. That's the problem. I'm disappointed in 61 bushel beans, which are freaking good beans. But I was hoping for so much better, and I see what's causing the problems and why they're not better, and that's why I'm disappointed. So I would just expect 60, and then I'd be real happy with 61, wouldn't we? Yeah. All right, quick break. My wife is bringing one of the boys up to ride with me for a little bit, and they're on their way, and I didn't want to be in the back of the field where she's got to wait on me, so stretch my legs for a second. Check it out, we got a passenger. What's up today? Huh? Hi. How was school? What else did you do today? Tell them about yesterday. What'd you do yesterday? Did you go to school? Where'd you go? You gotta talk loud. You don't remember where you went yesterday? Your mama went with you? On a school bus?
To the zoo.
To what?
I went to the zoo.
You went to the zoo. You had a field trip, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did you see anything cool there?
Yeah, rhino.
A rhino? Is that your favorite?
Yeah, and it cracked its horn.
It cracked his horn?
Yeah.
How'd he do that?
He bumped into something.
Oh my goodness. Did you see any elephants?
No.
Did you see any giraffes?
No giraffes.
Oh man. They just had some baby something at Toledo Zoo. I don't remember what. Did you see a baby?
I saw a baby giraffe and I saw some giraffes.
Baby giraffe, that's what I thought. All right.
It was so cute. It was so little.
It was so cute? Yeah, uh-huh. Oh, well, we're moving across here. We've got everything that way done. We filled in all of our gaps, kind of, just a little bit in the back where we did our actual trial back there. The beans seem to get a little better this way. I don't know if they will or not. We'll kind of watch it. There's still white mold in it. What was I going to tell you guys? Oh, we've crossed the 100-acre barrier for today. So we had about 12 done in this field when we started today. We're at 115. So we're over 100 acres on the day. I don't think we're going to make it unless we can work super late to get these done tonight, because we still got, well, let's just look at the menus here. Go there, go field totals. Area remaining 57 in this field, and then there's 13 across there. So what's that, 70 acres? I'd be pushing it to get another 70 done tonight. Time is at 6:30. If we can work late, like till 11 or midnight, we might get there. But it's probably going to get tough before that. We'll see. Ah, look. He turned his lights on. Good job, Brock. We're up to 132 acres in this field. We're getting closer. I'm getting more confident we're going to finish this, but I still don't know if we'll make it. I can't really explain it, but the yield has definitely picked up in the back over here. For some reason, there's less white mold there, which we saw that in the picture, right? But it's very apparent. We're almost up to this line. You can't see it over there, but the neighbor's cornfield. It's a few passes over yet. And then it's just this triangle in the back there, and there's about 20 acres once we get to that point. So we're moving. The good news tonight is the beans have dried down enough to go straight in the bin. I just looked at the spreadsheet that we fill out. Phil does a Google Sheets document with all of our moistures and stuff when he writes them down. I can check it from my phone here. And the last 4 loads, I think, have all been under 15, 14.5 to 14.7. They're going straight into the bin, so that is good. We've got that bin, it's got to be getting close to full. We're not quite there yet, but it's getting close. So, and the yield's ticking up. We're getting better. More greens on that map. We got, not quite up to 62 yet. We might get there, but they'll be okay. Bedtime for Brayson. Mama's coming to pick him up. So he's getting in the tractor with Brock because we have made it to this triangle back here and we're not going back up by the road. So just dropped him off. We got a few more ends to do around this. We're gonna make it, dang it. We are gonna make it. So we're down to about 20 acres, a little less than 20 to go in this field. And then we've got 13 in that little field on the corner back over there. So we're gonna do it, dang it. We're gonna do it. It's only 8:30, like we're doing really good. We're not gonna have to work as late as I thought we might have to. So this is good. It's all good things.
I got a little room on this one truck.
I am
need to get a little bit more on here. We're going to have to bring that truck back anyway if we're going to do that small field on the corner. I can put a little more in there, but it'll only be a couple thousand, 3,000. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure you could get that done back there.
We got less than 10 acres. It'll all fit on the cart from here.
Okay.
Alright, anyway, my Connect Mobile is not working. I don't know what happened. My map is gone. My yield readouts are gone. Everything's still good over here. It's still working. The beans have gotten better, which is good. Should have done my trial over here, but hey, what are you going to do? But for whatever reason, I don't have a map up there anymore. Just whatever, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Alright, so we're getting down there right into that little point. If my Connect Mobile's not going to work, we might as well catch up on some YouTube videos, right? Well, we made it. Almost. There's a small strip up here along the side. We gotta go get. Then go back up to the road, and I just knew that I had to drive up there, so I wasn't going to harvest it and then drive all the way back. 2 rows. We'll get them. I sure hope we don't have the same problems they have out there in Minnesota. I don't want to deal with down corn. Now, we are done. Get her empty here. We got 12 acres, 13 acres, a little field on the corner. We're going to get them. All right, we're moving across here. It's a small field. We don't have much to do yet. We're going to make it. We had one heck of a day, let me tell you. This is going good. And these beans are good. I mean, so the big field, the one that we just finished, is typically much, much better than this field, especially in corn. This year, in beans, there's no white mold over here, or very little of it. And so those beans were worse than these. Now they're 63, and that field ended up at 62, so it's not a lot, but it's good. I'll take it. Do you guys remember that whole key to happiness thing that I talked about earlier today? See, I have a prime example of that, right? That field over there where we were expecting really good beans and they weren't, and I was disappointed and not happy because, well, my expectations were too high. I also told you that there was basically zero chance we were going to finish all these beans today. It was too many acres to do, and I just told myself, it's not going to happen. Don't expect it to happen. It's not going to. And now it's going to, and I'm super excited about it. See how this works? Lower your expectations so that when you exceed them, you're just so excited that you can't contain it anymore. It works for me. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's the end. What a day. What a really good day. So 13.3 in this field. We did 173 in the big field minus the 12 that we had done last night. Puts us at 174 on the day. That's a really good day. So we're going to get empty here. I want to take the combine home and put it inside because rain tomorrow morning. The rest of the stuff, for all I care, can sit in the field and we'll get it tomorrow or whenever. But good day. It is 10:30 at night, just about. So yeah, we got this one wrapped up. I gotta jump back across the ditch over here, which means I gotta go back out around to the road, the ditch where I came into this field. We'll get over there, we'll drop the head, run the combine home, and yeah, I think that'll be it. Pulling her in the barn. That coming soon. Corn harvest. So let's talk about where we're at. Let's wrap this one up. Soybean harvest. We're this close to being done. We're down to, I added it up, 95 acres. It's technically one farm, 4 fields, and kind of 2 locations. There's a group of 2 and a group of 2, like a 30 acres and 65 between the 2 groups. And so that's all we've got left of soybeans. We need a decent afternoon. Doesn't even have to be a great day because, well, we did 170 today. We ought to be able to handle 90 in an afternoon, right? We do have double crop beans left to combine. They are not even close to ready. Now they are maturing. They're mostly yellow, a few green leaves, and even some brown plants out there. But it's still going to be a couple weeks at a minimum before those are ready. So we'll get to them when we get to them. We do potentially have a hard frost coming on Monday. We'll see. They're calling for low 30s and frost and freeze warnings, but they made it. We're okay at this point. So we'll see what the weather is tomorrow. If it's raining, obviously we won't be combining beans. There is chances that we switch to corn before we finish the beans, just based on the weather and the way that it is. So I don't know. We will make that plan when we make that plan. We've got some stuff to get back from Berkey. Well, Dad wants to bring the backhoe back. I really want to get that man lift back still. Maybe I can talk to my buddy and get his trailer tomorrow or something like that. Or maybe it's going to be raining all day and I'm not going to do anything. That's a distinct possibility as well. So we will see. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry there's not much GoPro footage. We'll try and get there, but it didn't happen today. So, what else? Like and subscribe. We already covered all that stuff in the beginning of this video. See you, everybody.